Hello. Okay, this should be sounding better now. Hello. Okay, this should be sounding better now. Hey, Levizu, can you hear me now? Hey, Levizu, can you hear me now? Now it should be better. Now it should be better. Okay, final. Okay, it should be much better. I will disable the noise gate. Okay, it should be much better. I will disable the noise gate. Okay, so it should reach -20 and -10. Okay, how about now? It's around -20, yeah, but not perfectly at yellow. Okay, how about now? It's around -20, yeah, but not perfectly at yellow. Okay, now it's at yellow, so it should be perfect right now. Oh, ideally perfect. Okay, now it's at yellow, so it should be perfect right now. Oh, ideally perfect. Okay, so now there's a noise gate, and there's also, it's in the yellow zone right now. Okay, so now there's a noise gate, and there's also, it's in the yellow zone right now. Okay, now testing for if keyboard sounds appear. Okay, now testing for if keyboard sounds appear.
Let me show you how to get the best microphone settings for your microphone, and I'm going to use a budget mic just like this so you can follow along at home. First thing we need to do is go into the settings in the bottom right corner. You can use OBS Studio or Streamlabs. It's virtually the same exact process. Twitch Studio a little bit different, but you can do something similar. Then we're gonna go to our audio tab. The microphone I'm using now is the microphone 1 here. So I'm gonna add in microphone 3, the microphone that we're using, the budget mic. So I'm gonna use this Fifine microphone. If you don't see your microphone from the drop, the same exact process. Twitch Studio a little bit different, but you can do something similar. Then down list, unplug it, replug it, make sure you have the drivers installed for your specific microphone. It'll likely be mentioned in the instructions, so check that out, and then restart OBS Studio. But if you see your microphone, fantastic. Just click your microphone, hit apply, and hit OK. Now you can see when I'm talking into my microphone, you can see the levels going up and down here for mic aux 3, the thing that we chose. But now in order to hear the changes that we're making, we're gonna go and click these 3 vertical dots next to it, click Advanced Audio Properties, go to mic aux 3, the one we picked, and then we're gonna turn audio monitoring to monitor and output. Now you'll be able to hear yourself in your headphones to make the necessary changes. If you're only hearing yourself through one ear or one speaker, you can change the signal to mono with this little box right here, and that'll make sure it comes through both ears or both speakers. If you're not having that problem, you can leave it unchecked. But once we can hear ourselves, we're gonna click close. If you guys are wondering how I got this cool free overlay for OBS Studio, I'll leave a video in the top right corner explaining it. But let's go over one of the most important things, which is mic placement. As you can see right now, I'm using a desk boom arm stand, which gets the mic perfectly in front of my face, which is what you want to get. So I'll leave a link in the description down below to a cheap one that's not going to break the bank. But let's actually switch to the budget microphone that we're going to be working with today. So this is the microphone that we'll be using today. As you can see, it comes with a little stand here, but if I put it on my desk, it's way too far. You want to have your mic about 4 to 6 inches away from your mouth, and if you're unsure of how long that is, never mind. By the way, if you can drop a quick like on the video for the YouTube algorithm, I appreciate it. But you want to have it about 4 to 6 inches away from your face, which is why I recommend getting the desk boom arm stand. But if you're balling on a budget, or if you're lazy like myself and I don't want to unscrew this and set it up, we are just going to use the budget option, which is this box. So we put the box on the desk and we put the stand on the box, and there we go. We got about 4 to 6 inches away from our face. Next thing that's super important is make sure you're talking to the right side of the microphone. A lot of beginners, and even myself, I've done this before, is you're not talking into the right end of the microphone. microphone. You can't really tell which is the right end just by looking at it, so you might have to look at the instructions, but you can tell if I turn it around and I'm talking into this end, thinking that this is the front, you can definitely hear it that that is not the front. Also, some microphones are an end address, so you have to talk into the top, which is a lot of the podcasting mics like the SM7B, you talk into the top and not the front. So a lot of people get confused just because they see it and they don't have the correct microphone for that. So make sure you're talking into the spot that you're supposed to be talking to. But now we have the distance correct, we have the location correct. Let's get this thing sounding professional. By the way, I think this is one of the best budget microphones you can get. It's about 50 bucks, and I made an entire video on it, which I'll leave in the top right corner for you. But let's get this microphone sounding even better. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna turn the volume down just a little bit. We are going to click the dots again, and we're gonna add some filters. The first filter we're gonna add is a compressor, and what it's going to do is it's going to make our whispers louder and our screaming not as loud. So it's gonna be easier on your listeners' ears. So we're gonna turn the ratio down to 4. We're gonna put the threshold all the way to the right. We're gonna change the attack to 2, which, oh my God, please. All right, I'm typing it in. And then we're gonna change the release to 100. And then the output gain, we'll leave it 0. So now we're actually gonna stretch this window so we can see our signal. But what we're gonna do now is if you see the signal, it's hitting right about the yellow, which is great. When I whisper, it's not even touching the yellow. So I'm gonna turn up the output gain and keep whispering because this is the quietest sound that I usually make. And I'm gonna adjust the gain until my whisper is about in the middle of the yellow. And I think this is pretty good. So now I'm gonna shout, and you can see that we are clipping so bad. So I'm gonna bring down the threshold and keep shouting into my mic, which is about the loudest I'm gonna be. And I'm gonna keep shouting, I'm gonna keep shouting, I'm gonna keep shouting until it's about just barely touching the red. So that way, if I'm whispering, you can hear me pretty good. And if I'm shouting, I'm not blowing your ear.
Okay, so this should work properly now. No, not yet.
Drums out. But now you can hear that the background noise is getting so blastedly loud. So we're gonna add an expander, and that's gonna fix that issue. So we're gonna change the expander ratio to 4, and we're gonna take the threshold all the way to the left, and then our attack is gonna be 2, and then our release is gonna be 100, and the output gain we do not touch. So now I'm gonna tap on my keyboard. Keep typing. You should be able to hear that, even though my microphone's kind of far from it. But now I'm gonna shut up, and I'm going to increase the threshold until I do not hear that anymore. And so now you can hear that my keyboard is not getting picked up anymore. So you can kind of find
Should be able to hear myself now.
tune it around there. I think right around here is good, but be careful. If you turn the threshold too high, it'll start chopping out my voice. And so now you can hear that my keyboard is not getting picked up anymore. So you can kind of find
Hear myself now.
to hear me. You're not going to be able to hear yourself.
Okay, this should be good enough. Yeah, it should. This is reaching the yellow zone. Okay, this should be good enough. Yeah, it should. This is reaching the yellow zone. Okay, this should be good enough. Yeah, it should. This is reaching the yellow zone.
Let me show you how to get the best microphone settings for your microphone, and I'm gonna use a budget mic just like this so you can follow along at home. First thing we need to do is go into the settings in the bottom right corner. You can use OBS Studio or Streamlabs. It's virtually
Okay, let's do a test stream. Okay, this should be good enough. Yeah, it should. It's reaching the yellow zone. Okay, this should be good enough. Yeah, it should. It's reaching the yellow zone. Wow. That was very bad, not a very good run, but It will look much better now. It will look much better now.